Hey guys, it's TaysGreenLife with the Lament configuration. I
That
think
would
that's
be correct.
okay. First question I'm jumping in with because this one's a good. I think is a good question. Hellraiser puzzle box. Is that
Yes.
what it means? Okay.
Yes. Most
That's
definitely.
cool. That's cool. I also didn't introduce you. Cory Tolbert, right? Correct
That's
name?
right. Yeah.
Okay. So who came up with the Hellraiser puzzle box? How
It was actually very stereotypical how it happened because we were outside. It was springtime. I remember this, and we just finished writing our first or second song. I don't really remember. Um, and we were outside, just looking like literally on like the thesaurus website, trying to figure out like short words that just mean something tough. And all of them were really either generic or not interesting at all. So pretty much we were just like, all right, horror movies, next step. And that was like the most recent that I watched, and everyone knew what that one was. So it kind of stuck for a second. And originally it wasn't even gonna be that name. Like we were gonna make it like edgy as shit for no reason. We were gonna call it Casey Anthony, but then we were like, nah, that's probably gonna get us sued. So we were like, we'll keep it at Lament for now. And then it stuck. I for the longest time did not even want that name. Uh, it stuck, and plus it's TLC too, so I thought that was kind of funny. So it just stuck that way, I guess.
Yes. How long has you guys been a band?
We've been a we've been a band officially for about 3 years. We've only been playing live for like a year and a half.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, just about 3 years.
And you're also in Orange, Virginia.
Yes.
Is that Northern Virginia?
Orange, it's like probably 30 to 40 minutes uh from like Charlottesville. It's in between Fredericksburg and Charlottesville. It's like in the ass crack of nowhere pretty much. Like it's all country and farmland. Uh and it's like it's the most interesting people. Like I never really had a problem with anyone here. I've lived here all my life since birth. Lived in the same house, so it's like I know mostly everyone in this county. And it's pretty small, but it's definitely nowhere to start a career. I'll tell you that much, dude. There's literally nothing, not even a skate park here. Because like even when we were really young, we always tried to convince like the mayor and the board to just have something for the youth, and they never, till this day, they still haven't done anything. Like we wanted a skate park, just a place to hang out without getting stopped by cops and looking sketchy. And yet to see that. So yeah, it's a pretty small town. It's about like an hour and a half from Richmond, an hour from most of the shows we play, which is fine because I do love to travel. So it works out. It works out.
So you said you're only an hour out of Richmond. Um,
Mhm.
would you consider it to be the same like genre of music, or do you think it's more open, like there's more to it because you're in closer to Northern Virginia?
Um, to be completely honest with you, for us being as new as we are and playing live with some of these bands, like we have so many different influences with genres and like because our guitarist is mainly metalcore. He loves metalcore. It's like all he played growing up too. Um, and I'm really into deathcore. I like fight riffs and like angry shit. And my drummer's the same way, and we
Yeah.
kind of just pieced everything together. And my guitarist is really into trippy shit as well. Like we started off with a six string, like the first few times we jammed, and standard to a seven string C, drop C, and we played a lot of like just groovy stuff, nothing like really heavy, more just like I guess just like normal just groove, almost Kublai Khan ish. um and so we have a lot of different influences. Like some of our songs sound closer to Lorna Shore ish, vocally, I guess, and some of the other songs are more like just in your face, just chuggy random ignorant stuff. So yeah, I mean, as far as like relating to all the other bands around here, I'd probably say we're a lot closer to like the hardcore, down tempo, like chuggier stuff. Maybe not down tempo, probably just like hardcore metalcore-ish. Um, but yeah, like with the shows we've been playing, I definitely feel like we've been hanging in there. And I mean, all the bands we play with so far just blown my mind as well. I can't even believe some of the bands we've even been on the same set list with. So it's really hard. Like I feel like we sound so much different, especially since we don't really have in-ear samples or whatever else. Um, and whatever else we need for it. But
I
yeah,
heard, yeah, you guys are. Everyone likes your sound. I wasn't able to come to that show, but the show at another round. It's a lot of footage, and everyone's like, "Oh," and you're just in there, just like, "Arr!" And someone's like, "I have never heard those deep sounds in my life."
yeah, yeah, dude, it's fun, man. It's kind of crazy. Like you can make toilet sounds and garbage disposal sounds, and people just lose their mind. It's kind of funny in my thing, like because I see a lot of like influencers that do vocals and stuff, and they almost meme it, you know what I mean? And I think it's great because it's expanding that kind of style, especially with bands like Warner Shore or whatever else that like have made it almost mainstream, you know what I mean? So it's starting to come to light. So I actually appreciate that too. But it's just funny to me. People lose their minds over sounds like that. It's kind of funny. So
I was like, because I was looking at the photos and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I wish I was there. Because I've actually never seen another round that like packed.
I don't think I have either personally, and that's not me tooting my own horn. Like I was very, very surprised. I only thought like maybe 25, 30 people, maybe. Um, and dude, when the first band started playing, we started getting a lot of people coming in. So I was very, very pleased with that. I didn't think people wanted to hear us that bad or, wanted to really see us or even knew us really. Cause I mean, we don't have any music out besides just the one song that was kind of just thrown out there. So they had material to kind of
Yeah.
understand what we sound like to get shows. Cause for a while, like we couldn't get any shows because we didn't have anything out and didn't have
Yeah.
anything to promote. So now that that's out, people are kind of understanding what's going on.
So you guys been playing for like a year now. What is your plan for the next, well, the plan for this year, the 2023? Like anything going on?
Yeah, so we're actually planning on releasing an EP either the beginning or the middle of March. Right now we are probably, I would probably say a good 60% of the way through it. There's no vocals down yet, only because I'm waiting for all the instrumentals to come in. And there's just been a lot of guitar work. Drums had to be worked on a lot because there was just a lot of ifs there that we wanted to roll out. So the EP is coming out soon. A lot more merch is coming out. Really, our goal is to just expand as much as we can, just locally. We want to gain that local loyalty and that local just heaviness and just
Yes.
attention really because like we want to expand out of the state by next year, so we definitely want to make a lot of friends here in the local scene because that's what's really going to launch us out.
Yes, that's important because a lot of people don't think it is, but working as a team and talking to people is literally the one step in business. Like
Oh yeah.
you have to
Oh yeah.
put yourself out there. You have to be a different person to
Oh
like
yeah.
I have really bad social anxiety. And like I'll
Same.
just go to shows and you won't even know. Like I'm nervous or like I'll just go up to people and like I had someone be like kind of arrogant about it, but I was like, is it really arrogant though, or is it confidence?
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, no, for sure. Like, there's most, if not all of us, wouldn't even be playing music if it wasn't for the help and the support that we, give each other.
Yes.
Especially as of late, like I've noticed that a lot of bands and not even just bands, but just like promoters as well, and photographers and just people generally in the scene, like yourself, that just try their best to expand everything and to kind of just move all these bands forward. Like, there's no way, like, without help like that as well, that we would even be here in the first place. It makes it a lot more interesting and keeps us going too. So it's like having that kind of community, especially in Richmond. Like we love Richmond. We love playing in Richmond.
I love
Um,
Richmond
from other
too.
people like Jeff Silver, Scum City, all of them. Like,
Yeah, I actually was
they're-
interviewing them earlier today. So
really, yeah, hell
yes,
yeah,
the show this weekend. I'm gonna be going there and bringing my little microphone plugged in my phone to talk to people.
nice.
Literally
Hell,
just walking around with my phone. You want to talk to me really quickly? Yeah, they're the homies. Another round homies too. Starting to build up a little bit of the Canal Club, but it's a little. Same with the Camel. It's very hard to get into the Camel.
right. Yeah, it's all
Um,
you know in the music industry, and I'm starting to find that out real quick. Is like money only goes but so far. You know what I mean? Because I used to race cars as well, and being beat by everyone who just has an actual team because they know people in parts or whatever to give them fresh stuff, and just because they know them. And in the music scene, it kind of works in the way of like if you know a promoter or someone in a band that's doing better than you, just by knowing them, it puts your foot in the door, and it's
yes.
really critical to not burn bridges if it's not necessary. You know what I mean? And uh, it's really it's very much like that.
I I was dating someone who happened to be a drummer in one of the bands that I've like really big with, and he was just not the best like person.
Yeah,
And like I was like, I kind of have to like pull away a little bit from that band because I was like, I can't associate with certain bands, like you kind of
yeah,
got a record and then like if you have a
mhm,
record, then I could have a record and then like that could like
yeah,
cancel the chances. And that's why it's good to be good and genuine in the scene.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't you can't
Uh-oh.
be mean and expect people to like want to work with you. You have to be
Yeah,
open to work with other people.
right.
And like if you're not open for that, you'll get cut and canceled just
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, for real.
I'm just like,
For
it's not
real.
like back in the day. Like I can't just like say things and
Hmm.
expect no one to be like, excuse me, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and like I'm the same way too, because like I know people will disagree with me on a lot of things, and as a public figure, quote unquote, like I definitely have to watch a lot more of uh keeping my opinions to myself. You know what I mean? Because it's like one, no one gives a shit. You know what I
No one
mean?
cares.
I don't even care half the time. I don't even remember half the shit I even say on social media.
Me
It's like
too.
what's the point to begin with? And two, it's like I don't want to tarnish me or my boys or my peers, fans, whatever. I don't want to let any of them down just by the words that I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Yeah.
there's a time and place for stuff like that, and just spewing out bullshit is never a good way for marketing or anything.
No. Like I had
So
to cut them off as a relationship and as like a networking facility because I was just like not
yeah,
really a facility, but a network step because I was like, I just can't. Like
yeah,
I'm
it's a lot.
sorry. I like your music, but like if you're a bad person, then I'm not gonna want to be a
Worth
fan.
it. Yeah, it's
Because
not
like
worth it.
all I want to do is be positive and preach positivity. And then there's like certain things I do believe that aren't as positive in other people's eyes.
Right.
They always call me like a Trump supporter, and I'm like, I was like, I'm not. No way, not a Trump supporter. I'm just like in the media, like it's kind of like in the middle. Like I believe on both sides. I believe both sides
Right.
benefit from each other, and
Right.
same with music. Like
Right.
deathcore wouldn't be what it is without metal, like the '80s metal and all that stuff, the hair metal, dad rock, like all these
Okay.
things contribute to music
Yeah.
today.
Literally. And like I don't listen to a lot of the older bands pretty much at all, but like the only show I wish I was alive for, or even if, I could just pick a show to go to would be I think it was 70 is when I re-looked it up because someone called me out on it. But I think it was 1970 when Sabbath played Woodstock. And I would just love to see that happen. And I don't even listen to Sabbath that much, but like that was just such a historic and legendary moment for everyone in the metal scene, especially up to this date. It's like to see all that evolve from that is just incredible because that's just like a benchmark of like this is where it started pretty much for me. So
Yes,
it's like to be
yes.
able to experience something like that would be just fucking tits. It would be
I
so
mean,
cool.
seeing Woodstock would have been like pretty big. I want to like see like Led Zeppelin and like Jimi Hendrix and like
Yeah,
really be
Okay.
there with all the peace. And like
Yeah.
now people don't care about each other.
Yeah, they didn't
Everyone's
at all.
it's a COVID thing. Ever since COVID, no one just cares anymore.
Pretty
Like this
much.
is like no one wants to do anything for for free anymore. And then
Nope.
at the same time, you can't do things for free anymore. Like
No. No.
everything, there's a price for everything, and like
Yeah.
eventually, it's you gotta pay for it. Like time is
True.
money. Like you
It
have to
is.
pay for your gas to go to your events. You have to pay for those. I don't know if you guys pay for the ticket. I don't. You don't pay for the tickets, right? No, they. What is it? The ticket sales is that something that contributes to?
It does. Not as much for us as of late. Like we haven't really made too
Yeah.
much off of just ticket sales. Most of what we make off is merch. Which most bands, if not all metal bands, really, touring bands will even say this as well. Is like the money you really make on the road is merch. You know what I mean? Like ticket sales, you do make money at that. Same with Spotify and streaming platforms. Like you make money at that, but it's not enough to be sustainable. So a lot of the times it's like just merch, 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 merch.
Yes.
So it's not really something that we look forward to when it comes to just ticket sales. Although we do appreciate it, it's more so just really just merch, you know.
And with the merch, do you have any new merch coming up with? Because the logo in your profile, I think is cool. Um, is there any idea for the puzzle box and some of the new merch?
So we have the new design we actually got came in a couple days ago, and it's based off of our song Sinner, and it's cult themed, and that's all I'm gonna say because it's probably my personal favorite, and I think it will sell out quicker than our other long sleeves did because we had to order the long sleeves twice because when we go to shows, at least half of that is sold. It's just gone. Um, so we really were just like, all right, well, we just need more merch. So we just got more designs in, and the most recent one I think is pretty much going to be on most of our stuff now. The flower aspect is also going to be there, which we got a personal designer named Juri, and he's from Indonesia, and he does all of our artwork, and he's incredible. We try to make everything we do local. Like we don't go to custom ink for anything because they're not local. You know what I mean? All of
Yeah.
our artists that we hit up are local to us. Um, the shirts, the print, where we get the material from, everything like that. It's all local because I mean we want people to support us the same way we support them, and by doing that, it makes a name for yourself in a good way, whilst also supporting and putting money towards someone else's craft and art. So that's something I hold to a very high regard as an artist as well. So yeah, merch is going to be sick. This is probably going to be my favorite merch line so far. We've done three, so this will be our fourth. Um, this one and the summer one. The summer one's going to be kick ass, but so far, this one itself is going to be pretty sick. Mhm.
I'm super excited. That's something that I'm starting to work on too. I just be putting my logo everywhere at this point. There's already gonna be a logo in the screen. But I have like my candles in the background. I got like
Mhm.
my roommate, she does t-shirts too. So
Hell
hers
yeah.
are in the background. Yeah, I had like
Yeah.
a live in-person interview earlier today, and I put my other roommate's like business name just chilling in the background. So
That's good. Hell yeah.
yeah, so I'm like always trying to like incorporate like all my roommate stuff and like get these logos
Yeah.
done and like a t-shirt. So I try to use like all local people that I know to help me.
Hmm. Dude,
Because
that's
like
important.
the
It's
community
important,
is
bro.
important, literally.
Yeah, it's important, dude. Again, like we wouldn't be able to do this by ourselves. Like, there's just no way in hell. That's way too much effort and way too much brain power, way too much sleep lost and money out of our pocket, man. So, it's easier to
Literally,
have support.
you become so broke when you like
Yeah,
a band is like a business. Like
it is.
let
It's
me
a
tell
market.
you, my work payment, like my work money goes into my business.
Me
I
too.
don't have enough put in like people buying enough stuff to like be able to like
Yep.
afford to just run my business. So I have to like use my own time and money to like
Oh
do
yeah.
things and like people don't
Hmm.
understand that. Things aren't just giving to us. Hard work is what it like
Hell no, dude. Yeah, caffeine. Caffeine is great. For some nicotine, you know what I mean? I haven't smoked nicotine in a year and some change, so that is gone for me, and which is great because my guitarist would kill me. Uh,
I
you
mean,
know,
I
and
think your vocals might like.
dude, I the 3 days before our first show,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, no, it was 3 days before our first show in Richmond. Um, Shout out to Jeff for Shred Booking. Like he's the one who put us on for our first show at another round, and that really freaked me out because 3 days beforehand I was still vaping and whatnot, pretty heavy, and we tried to run our set, and through the first song, first phrase, I was getting lightheaded and starting to like lose my balance and stuff, and it put in perspective of like, dude, like you're not gonna be able to last. You know what I mean? You only have 4 songs to play, but if you can't make it through the first one, like, what makes you think you can do a 45-minute headliner? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way.
How
So
do you get yourself ready? Do you like do you go like me, or do you like just do you do like throat exercises? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so pretty much it's all about just clearing your nasal cavity with all the mucus, spitting all that out. I really like to do this thing. I hold my breath with a full set of lungs, and it's counted just to expand my lung capacity. And then I just do my scream range, which is pretty wide. Sometimes it'll take me a little bit, but most of the time I just make sure my lungs are expanded and my vocal cords are stretched. I don't really do much range stuff, but if I have recently to that show, I'll practice and briefly go over what I've been having problems and issues with. Which mainly for me is just consistency and tone, because sometimes my lows will crack,
yeah.
especially live. Like if I'm moving around doing whatever, like sometimes my throat just says, "Nope, not today, man," and then it's audible to me. Not many people can hear it, but
Yeah.
it's very audible to me, and I'm very critical, and I criticize myself a lot on that kind of stuff. So really, with warm ups, it's just about like expanding the lungs and just relaxing my vocal cords. I just scream for like 20 seconds sometimes. So
That's cool. And then I like I said, another round was pretty cool. Like all seeing all those people's faces, and
dude,
I
I
wish
was so
I wish I
happy.
had time enough to like pull it up and be like, look at this man's face. All of them was just like,
Yeah, dude, I had so
mm.
much fun, man. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world to just like.
And there's like pictures. There's no shirt. You got no shirt on. You're just screaming in there, and like you
I
got
was
all
on
these men are
hand.
like,
It was, bro. That was the first time they didn't, because they're remodeling another round too. So like the way they got everything set up is a little different. So they don't open the door stage left anymore, which usually keeps me cool because it's just fresh air.
yeah.
About 2 songs in, I was just dying. It was getting hot, so I was like, fuck it, whatever. Take my shirt off, dude. I can't do this anymore. Uh, which was worth it because I could actually feel air. I was sweating my balls off, man. It was hot.
So we're getting close to the end a little bit. Anything you want
Yeah.
to go over before we go?
Mm.
Anything you want anybody to know? Any new songs, new shows?
We got a few shows coming up. Most of them are in April, and we have one March 25th. So March 25th is our next show so far. Um, Mainly because the EP is just taking up a lot of our time. So we haven't really been playing as many shows other than the recent headlining one. So March 25th is our next one. That's a Shamrock Shredder with 3 piece and a few other bands. That's also at another round. And I think we're playing second, something like that. I don't really remember, but we're playing. It's going to be a great time. I'm really excited to see a lot of the bands that we
I'm
haven't
excited.
played with in a while. So I'm excited.
I think I'm probably going to one of those. Probably. It's just because I have an actual job too. So
Yeah,
like
dude, no, I get that.
yeah.
It's hard,
So
especially if it's full time, man. That shit's not easy.
no, and like people are like, oh,
Crazy.
you make it so easy. And I'm like, there are days where I want to literally rip my hair out. I'm like,
Dude,
I
you're
don't want to interview today. I don't want to
don't
talk.
have any time
I don't
for
want to
any.
go to these shows. I want to lay in bed today.
Yeah,
And I'm
literally.
like, no, you have to do it because like hard work pays off.
About to
And
say,
that's
yeah. I mean, you keep doing it, eventually it'll pay the bills. I mean, that's my plan pretty much is just work a
literally.
full-time job, make sure this is a hobby for now, and once it gets bigger, go to a part-time job while this is also paying the bills at the same time. And then eventually, when we're touring, I can quit my 9 to 5 and not have to deal with people every day.
That's why
People
I
I
was
don't
like,
like.
I gotta start charging for some of my. Somebody was like, it's just because like I don't. I feel like I deserve a little bit. Like I feel
I
like I
think
put
you
a lot.
do.
Yeah, I
That's a
feel
lot
like I
of
put a
work.
lot of time
You
and
put a
effort.
lot of effort. You put a
Yes,
lot of
there's
effort
like
into something.
like tickets I have to pay for and
Yep.
gas to put in my car
Yep.
and like business cards that I give away to people hoping they'll follow me and they probably don't. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
like, so like I'm spending all this money and I'm like, just give me just a tiny bit. Just a
Yeah,
tiny.
no, and that's fair too, because like I mean, it's no different than like us selling merch. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yes.
promoting ourselves. We want this to become our job. You know what I mean? And like you as part of the media, like that's a job, whether you like it or not. Like that is a
No,
career.
yeah.
So it's like
I
that's
it's
100% acceptable.
amazing, dude. It and when I go to like the Canal Club or another round, I just show up and they're like, just like that's the most weirdest feeling ever. I'm like, how do you know me? And they're like, I
Right?
watched your video.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%.
I've
Definitely.
had people like look at my video and then add me on Instagram. They're like, you're really like really pretty, and I want to add you. And I'm like, no,
Not like
like
that.
or please can I join your podcast? I'm like, okay, well, what band, business, or artist do you do? Like anything you
Right.
do for the community? None. And I'm like, have you really watched my interview?
We're not interviewing stale bread, all right? We need someone
Yes,
with
I'm trying to
character.
find meaning in people and cool things to talk about and not just like random people on the street who have different opinions. Like
Yeah, really. Well, if I wanted to do that, I would just go on the street, like you said. Like I wouldn't need to
literally be
do
like, just what is this? um so it's been a great interview. What was it, March 25th?
Yes, March 25th. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hopefully this interview will probably be out before then, so we definitely want to check it
Awesome.
out. Where should we follow you at?
Instagram is the Lament Configuration Virginia, I believe. Facebook is just the Lament Configuration. I believe just capital T, L, and C. Um, I believe that's it. We don't have a Twitter or anything, mainly because I've never used Twitter. I run all the
Hey.
media stuff, so I don't know. I'm 20, almost 22 now. Everyone else in my band's
Oh
like
no.
30, so it's like I'm the guy for the social media. As the youngest, it's my job. So yeah, I mean the limit configuration, LAMENT configuration, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, guys. It's been a great interview. It was a pleasure having you, Cory.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you. It
So
was
I
fun.
hope you guys, yeah, check them out. Please do follow them on every platform except for TikTok. Yeah. Bye.